Yo. What is poppin'? How we doing, fellas? How we doing?
Doing pretty good.
Man, every single time we start this, someone says some crazy joke because for some reason we count down and it just like stimulates our brains like instantly. Say a joke right beforehand. And so I'm like in this middle fucking ground where I'm like, I need to like actually lock in to like say the intro and starting to laugh. I'm like, and then it takes like 3 seconds for it to actually start recording. So I'm just like, I don't know. It's fucking weird, man. Recording sometimes is weird, but Anthony, take 2 this time. You got your Coca-Cola to power you up. How was your 2 weeks been?
It's been good, man. So, been studying for my test that's coming up in June. So I'm pretty excited about that. A little nervous, but feeling pretty good though. Had a fire out today in Hollywood. Shout out Pink's.
Shout out
Pink's is
man.
great. If you want a hot dog with anything you could possibly want on it, pretty much. If you want a hot dog with anything you could possibly imagine on it, go to Pink's. You got hot dogs named after celebrities and everything. It was crazy. It was my first time there at Pink's and first time in Hollywood, so it was pretty cool.
Well, everything?
What do you mean everything? Everything? Oh no, not everything. Not everything. But yeah, not everything. But for those who are curious. For those who are curious about the hot dog that I ate today, that has been brutally upsetting my stomach, but it was absolutely delicious. Cody. It was the pastrami, nacho cheese, and bacon hot dog. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Expanded your palate a little bit. Just added more meat.
Don't diss on the hot dog unless you've never tried it. Unless if you tried it. That's what
honestly,
I mean.
That's the only thing that Ant fucking eats. Carbs, cheese, and meat. That's it.
Gotta love that cheddar. Gotta love that cheddar.
Hey, it was American. It was American cheese.
Of course it was.
You white cheddar fuck.
What other cheddar? What other cheese would you be eating? You fucking plain white
pepper
cheese.
Jack.
Not provolone.
Pepper Jack is the best cheese out there.
Pepper Jack is good cheese.
It is.
But overall, though.
Well, that's good.
Overall, though, it was good. The fire went good today, so got that taken care of, and then that's about it. Took a nap today. Couldn't sleep last night. Started watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he was real groggy.
I was.
He was real groggy when I got back. I mean, I got back. Was like, "Hey, how's it going?" No response. I'm like, "What the fuck? Are you on the phone?" And then he takes a piss. I'm like, "Nope, his AirPods aren't in. He's just waking up from a nap."
Yeah, he just needed.
I just woke him up from hibernation. I was like, "Hey, man, be ready." I got into some traffic because we wanted to record at 7:30, and I was like, "All right, well, I want to make sure that we're okay too." And I get home, I'm like, "What the hell? Like, did your dog die?"
Yeah, he just
get up like, "What's wrong?"
Needed a refuel on the Coke and get the gears going again. Get the green churning.
To be fair,
shotgun to Coke, had a Zin.
Yeah, often the essentials.
Yep. To be fair, though, right when Zach walked in at that time, I woke up probably about 3 minutes before he actually walked in. Just woke up. But overall, though, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're living. We're thriving. And yeah, I'm excited to talk some ball. Cody, how are you doing?
Cody,
pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just been, enjoying the nice weather. Starting to get a little warmer up here in Idaho, so pretty excited about that. It's been a pretty brutal winter, so seems like it's finally turning around. Done a lot of fishing. Just like usual, nothing changes.
Well, fishing for sure, not catching.
Yeah. Dude, it was a rough day. It was probably the most rough day of fishing I've ever had.
I knew it was rough when you posted on TikTok and Instagram.
Of my failures, yeah, it was something. It was bad, and now Zach's frozen, so just keeping the train rolling.
He is pressed.
Yeah, you froze for like a good 10 seconds.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening, honestly. I'm sorry to everyone listening. Our Wi-Fi is just taking a shit.
It's all right.
It's definitely not a summer Wi-Fi right now. It's for some reason as if there's thunder and fucking lightning everywhere. So it's pausing every 2 seconds. But as I was saying I knew you were pressed when you posted both on TikTok and Instagram, the same thing. You didn't even go out of your way to get a background. It was just a video and the same caption. Video.
Yep.
Added nothing straight pissed off right there. Dude, I also knew when you accidentally sent a Snapchat and to settle down. where it was just your face? I'm like,
I didn't accidentally do it. I sent it on purpose. I wanted everybody to see my pain and despair and agony that I felt throughout the 10 hours of fishing.
Brutal.
Body is feeling it, boys. It is bad.
Brutal.
I am so fucking sore, and it's been rough. But you know what? It's the life of a sturgeon fisherman or any fisherman going after a big fish. You know, you lose some.
Yeah,
things change every time you go out there. So, but it's been good, man. It's been good. So I'm excited to talk a little.
You win some, you lose some, man.
You win some, you lose some. You know, you learn. You
don't
live
stop
fishing
shooting
every
shots.
day.
Yep, and I like that.
Yep.
Well,
Zach,
I'll make it quick.
How are you?
The last 2 weeks have been pretty similar to the last 2 weeks that we've gotten an update for 3 months now. Worked out, forced Anthony to work out, make fun of Anthony some more.
Did you catch him flexing his tricep in the mirror?
Yeah, he was today. He actually was. Tony, holy shit. That's crazy. But it was a good ass pump, so I don't blame him. But seriously, all jokes aside, I mean, realistically, I'm finishing up the Peaky Blinders, so I'm kind of like sad that I'm almost done with that show because it was so good, man. If you guys have not watched it, I highly suggest it. But
who is this?
That
we have not met yet.
The NBA playoffs have started, so I get to do the skits with my dad again. If you guys haven't seen that, we've been posting a little bit on the stories of Settled Down on Instagram and on my stories on Snapchat. The long listeners and viewers have seen that for a bit now. Just that was like the start of our entertainment saga with Dad. So some of you guys have seen that, but that's been fun. The Warriors play tomorrow, so I'm pretty hyped about that. The NHL playoffs have been pretty fun to watch so far, and after that, it's really just been the same, man. Hanging out with friends, working out, and that's it. But as we get into more of this episode, I want to be just frank. This is the episode before the mock draft, before the NFL draft. The 2025 draft is starting on Thursday, the 24th. So really what we're going to be talking about this whole episode is just the draft. So our plan is to talk a little bit about the offseason. There's one piece of news, maybe two that we'll talk about, then get into a mock draft 1 through 11. And the reason why we're doing 1 through 11 is because Anthony is a Patriots fan and Cody and I are a 49ers fan. So we thought, why not just do 1 through 11 because the Patriots are at 4 and the 49ers are at 11. And then we're going to get to 2 blind ranking of the biggest busts in NFL history, which is going to be a lot of fun. I will say, I'm going to preface this before anyone says anything. These are not listed through 5. I looked at a bunch of lists and compiled like running backs and different positions. So it wasn't all quarterbacks because we know how that is. The biggest busts in NFL history are quarterbacks, but that's not fun. And then we're going to go back to, I believe, 2 episodes ago or 4 or 6 weeks ago. It was 2 or 3 episodes ago where we were doing the blind ranking for the Patriots and the 49ers, going back and forth. And now it is Anthony's time to get into the worst Patriots losses in history. And man, we've been through a lot of these together. So I am really excited about that and see how you kind of rank those because there are some brutal ones. But
there are brutal
we're going to get to that.
Sure.
Let's get into it, fellas.
Green 18. Red 48. Settle down. Wide 80. Sit hut.
We suck. We suck. Get rid of Belichick. Get rid of Mac Jones. Get rid of our entire fucking receiving core.
You guys are 2-8.
That's what I thought.
2-7, 2-8. It doesn't matter. We still suck.
So Seahawks played the Ravens. Final score was 28-25. Geno Smith, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Anyway, not really much to write home about that game. Just
right.
This is
I don't think Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback in the NFC.
Wait, are you putting Justin Herbert over Jared Goff?
Yes.
It was like an interview for like a new podcast company. Called Brazzers. I mean, you could see I'm literally in the headquarters right now, dude.
R.I.P. Meaty Mutt. We love you, buddy.
You know how
we hope you're watching.
So you know how like we always find something new in that intro clip, right? That we just don't really notice
every time.
So this time I just noticed when he's talking about the Brazzers, right? In that last one. I didn't realize that there was a camera just sitting right there on the table.
Yes, it was a casting couch.
I know it was a casting couch, but I didn't realize there was just a camera right there as well, just pointing straight.
No,
to the
I'm
couch.
pretty sure Keaton literally looked up porn room background, and that's what it was. It was a casting couch and a fucking camera that was just on a table. Like Keaton.
I knew it was a casting
and that's
couch,
Keaton.
but I didn't realize there was just a camera there.
I mean, he always played it fucking ballsy, and I will also say, talking about ballsy, Jared Goff is still not a top 5 quarterback in the NFC, but we'll get into that later in the season. Speaking about getting into, let's get into some of the offseason news that we've heard the last 2 weeks, and it's a doozy. I mean, fellas, I'm a little nervous we might not get through this episode because we have one talking point, and that is that the Eagles extended center Cam Jurgens to an extension worth up to $68 million. $39.4 million is guaranteed. I don't really have much to say on it. The Eagles have the best offensive line in the league, and I mean, extending him definitely makes them a contention of being a top 5 offensive line for 3-4 more years. I mean, as long as they have that core piece together, they are going to be very, very good. Cam Jurgens is one of the best centers in the league. This is a hell of an extension. I don't see really why anyone would say not. Well-deserved money, and that's really it. Unless you guys have anything to add, I think that's kind of it.
I mean, yeah, just like Zach said, well-deserved. I mean, offensive lineman, it's a key piece to an offense success. So when you have a chance to extend a guy, sign a guy to a lot of money, I'm telling you, he's gonna bring his lunch pail every day to work. That's how offensive linemen are. They deserve the money, man. I mean, like, you know, a lot of guys go down, men in the trenches, injuries all over the place, and he played on a Super Bowl team, and has proven that he, you know, deserves that money. Obviously, like we said, and you don't get a lot of chances where you have like your offensive line that's just kind of stacked and healthy all at the same time, and they're looking great. And yeah, I think, you know, it's a very undervalued position, so he definitely deserves the money. And I think Eagles are on the right track, you know, for this.
You know, I will say, I would not be surprised if the Eagles did turn into a dynasty. And I want to not get into this too much because we'll get into this once it gets deeper into the season, probably closer to the actual season starting. But dude, they have drafted some crazy fucking pieces, man. They are great drafters, and they sign really, really, really good players. To go from Cam Jurgens, to go from Jason Kelce to Cam Jurgens, and Jason Kelce, when he retired, was arguably the best center of our generation. And now you have the top 3 center just walk in there, play as well as he did, if not better in his last season, and then sign to an extension. You are doing something right as an Eagle fan. As an Eagles fan,
you just know how to put the pieces together.
Organization, you are doing it right. You are doing it right.
They know how to.
I would be ecstatic if I was an Eagles fan because they have been doing it right. And you know a team that has been kind of iffy with doing it right? We won't get into this too much, but I did want to mention it. The 49ers, quote-unquote, low-balled Devontae Adams. Really? You low-balled him? Like, are we really going to call that a low-ball? I guarantee you the Niners gave him, I don't want to say whatever contract I'm thinking. It wasn't the vet minimum, It wasn't the vet minimum, but it wasn't $30 million a fucking year. I guarantee you that. So they probably offered him, what, $20 million? What did Stephon Diggs get? $22 million a year, I believe? $24 million a year?
Yeah.
If the Niners offered him $20 million to $22 million a year, that is not lowballing him. Now, I don't know the number, and I know it wasn't the vet minimum, and I know it also wasn't $30 million like our boy Brandon Ayuk because they don't have the money for that. But they didn't lowball him. Devontae's just being a baby, like realistically, and no one else has signed him. $23 million. I guarantee you it was around $20 fucking million. $20 to $23 million. Wasn't a vet minimum. It wasn't a fucking max. But dude, he hasn't even had like a lot of looks at him. I don't know.
He's in my opinion, he's just bouncing around from team to team, just like Kevin Durant trying to get something.
And he's not bad
started. And it's like, I don't know what you're doing at this point, man. Like, I don't get it. It's like after, you know, the whole Green Bay fall apart, really, you know, you have a guy that just doesn't know where he fits in, or if he does fit in, or if he's going to wait, you know, and he has been kind of screwed around, especially with the Raiders. But like at this point in your career, you kind of just gotta
go to a contender.
You already have how much money in the bank? Probably it's like, dude,
$100 million.
Probably go sign to a team that is, like you said, a contender, and take way less money. But guess what? You're on a contending team, because people see the way that you kind of been conducting yourself with going from team to team and like wanting to opt out of this and wanting to go there. It's like some teams are not willing to take a risk on a guy that's not on his way out, but he's not in his prime anymore. I mean, he's been in the league for quite some time, and I mean, we grew up watching the guy in Green Bay, tear shit apart, and now it's just kind of like, who's going to take that risk? And also, he needs to kind of just be like, I'll take whatever. Go to a contending team. They'll use you. They'll probably start you. You'll be in the rotation.
That's the thing that I don't really understand. It's like,
might win a ring again.
You went from the Packers, where you won a ring, to the Raiders.
I was about to say.
And then you went to the Jets, where the Jets thought that they were going to be a playoff team, and then they weren't. And now you've gotten to the point where it's not like you're falling off completely. And last year, he averaged the second most yards per game.
Yeah,
he was second in yards per game. When he was healthy, he was great. And he still had 1,300 yards and I think like 8 touchdowns. So he still had a good year. He was behind Malik Neighbors. That's the only wide receiver he was behind for yards per game. Obviously not second in yards because he was injured, but yards per game, he was second. So he could still do things that wide receivers at a wide receiver 1 level can do, but he can't get paid like a wide receiver 1. He's a wide receiver 2 now. We've seen the injuries. We've seen him kind of fall off, and he was great with the Jets, but again, he was iffy. He's injured. He's older, but he has to go to a fucking contending team. It makes no sense to not. Yeah, I mean, who that is, I don't know. We'll talk about it, but I think that he needs to at this point.
Yeah, you go to these teams
and take your money, man. Take your money. Take $23 million and fucking move on.
You already got money. You're already stacked. And it's just one of those things where it's just like you're trying to make something work. You're like, the Jets, these GMs, these guys are telling me exactly what I want to hear. This is the new wave. We're drafting this guy. We're getting this guy. And it just didn't play out that way. And same with the Raiders. But he's still. There were so many plays that I saw there where he was just wide open and nobody threw the fucking football.
It was the Jets.
He just got fucked over and over and over again. But at the same time, like you said,
Jets are a horrible organization, unfortunately.
He won that. When did he win that ring with Green Bay? I mean, I knew he won a ring, and I was just like double guessing myself. But I was like, he definitely won a ring with Aaron and
when was that?
Who did they play?
I don't even remember.
And McCarthy was their head coach, who fucking just got let go from Dallas.
Oh, he'll never be a coach again. 2011. That's what it was.
I was about to say it was like 2011, 2012 or something like.
2012 was you guys against the Ravens.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yes, you're right. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It'll get deeper into the offseason. We'll talk about it. And actually, we will be getting into that in 2 weeks, Cody, because one of the blind rankings will be the worst losses for the 49ers ever for us. So, anyways,
perfect.
Moving on to the main. We're going to mock draft the first 11 teams of this draft. If you guys don't know the order, it is the Titans, the Browns, the Giants, the Pats, the Jaguars, the Raiders, the Jets, Panthers, Saints, Bears, and 49ers. And if you guys do not know, Tyler Lewis, who is still a part of Settle Down, likes the Raiders. Obviously, Cody and I are 49er fans, and I don't know if Anthony is too big of a Patriots fan, but he is. I'm kidding. Anthony's a huge Patriots fan.
That's it.
And those are 3 of the 11 teams we're going to talk about. So let's get into it, fellas. I think we all have the same number 1 pick, right?
Yes.
With the Titans.
Yep.
Anthony, you have Cam Ward. Cody, you have Cam Ward.
I have Cam Ward. I don't think there's a better quarterback to take first than him. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. We saw him at Miami. Okay. He was an outstanding quarterback. Washington State, outstanding quarterback.
Yeah, he was.
And then he played for Incarnate Word. Incarnate Word before he went off there too. Like he freaking every school he ever played at during his college career, he freaking balled out. It just kind of was a
he's Mr. Nonchalant for a reason. I feel like he could be a good fit for the Titans. And I think this is where it gets a little bit interesting.
I think it's just on the clock. Good fit for the Titans at this point. They need.
Yeah,
they need Will something. Levitt. He's just a Tim Tebow that had a few, just as good as games as Tim Tebow, except for the playoff win that Tim Tebow got. But other than that, he's just a Tim Tebow. Like he's just a
Will Levis tough, hot. Will Levis fucks hot girls, and that's about it. He doesn't do too much.
He doesn't really play football too much. He likes mayo in his coffee. You know, it must be a Kentucky thing. I don't know what the hell is going on there, but
he likes his mayo over Gia Duddy as well.
Gotta get a winner in there in Tennessee. Gotta get a winner.
All righty. Well, we're moving on. I think that's a good pick for them. In this next one, I don't know. It's a bit odd. I mean, and I'll go through some of the needs that these teams need. Obviously, the Titans, we just picked a quarterback. That's one of their needs. But the Browns need a lot. They need a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, a tackle, and a cornerback. And there is a guy here that fits 2 of those 5 positions. Do we go with Travis Hunter?
Dude,
is he honestly, the number 2 pick?
I really don't think that. I don't know if I'm going to get hate for this, but I really don't think Cleveland should be going with an athlete as their first pick. I really think they need to be drafting a quarterback. They need to set a base. It's getting embarrassing as a Browns organization and their fan base getting tormented every year. For what?
So who do we think then? Who do we think?
I think they're going to
need some guy that needs
quarterback because I don't know if there's a quarterback at this point.
I think Shador's going to go to Cleveland, dude.
No,
I think Shador's going to go to Cleveland.
I mean, but it's like than
you guys think Shador's number 2?
They're saying Shador or Travis Hunter for 2, and I honestly think it's like, okay, you draft draft Travis Hunter, but then who's throwing him the fucking football?
Fine, fellas. I'm cool with that.
You know,
who are you thinking? Who are you thinking?
I thought it would be Travis Hunter.
Well, it's a flip of a coin, but like
now this makes it really interesting.
Well, I think Cleveland needs to go with a QB. They need to set a base. They need to set a guy. They need a quarterback, the main position on the football field. They need that. They need that guy. You know, but Travis.
I don't know if Shador is that, but we'll move on. And I mean, unfortunately or fortunately for this team,
could be a good fit.
They need a quarterback as well. The Giants. They need a quarterback, a tackle, a defensive lineman, and a cornerback. Fellas, I mean, at this point, who do we got?
I could see them taking Travis Hunter.
I think they 100%.
Yeah, I think Travis will be top 3 for sure. So I think that's fine. I think that's fair.
It's either going to be New York is either going to take fucking Travis Hunter, athlete. Like I said, he could play. Who knows if he's going to play both sides of the ball? But I mean, they need some guy to stand out. But also, I mean that I already know that the Giants' defense is just hurting as well.
It's just
I think they could go with Abdul Carter as well from Penn State.
Yeah, so that's the one guy I was looking at too. They do need a linebacker as well.
Well, I'm looking at these mock drafts too, and a lot of people have Abdul Carter going 3 to the Giants. And I mean, like I said, dude, the Giants are just one of those teams that are just always missing key components to their team for, not forever, but definitely quite some time. Abdul Carter, and I paid a lot of attention to that guy during his college career, and he's an absolute monster. I think that could really turn around that that defense. You just have a guy that's hungry and ready to go, and you have a Giants defense that, I'm sorry, is
not hungry.
I can't really name any guys on the Giants.
No.
For defense. I mean, I'm not very good at remembering, guys for teams that I don't really pay too close attention to, but I know the Giants don't have a defense. So Abdul Carter, I feel like is going to take number 3. But don't they have Kayvon Thibodeau?
Yeah, they have Thibodeau. They also have
he's good, but you need another guy.
Why am I blanking on his other?
You need another guy. He's good. Kayvon's good, but you just need that starstruck guy.
Well, they signed somebody else to feed.
You need somebody else, I feel like, to feed off that Kayvon. You have 2 monster edge
Brian Burns. Dude. Brian Burns, that's who they signed. And Dexter Lawrence is a fucking beast.
Brian Burns phenomenal. Is good. Yeah, their defensive line is always pretty good, but they need another pass rusher, I think.
Drew Phillips was the one I was thinking of. And they signed Javon Holland. I forgot about that as well.
Yeah, they did.
Their defense is looking decent, but I think they go Travis. If Travis falls there, I think personally Travis is going to go to the Browns. But because we picked Shador, that means the Giants are going to get Travis Hunter, correct? Anthony, do you think that as well?
Yes.
I'll go with Travis Hunter.
All right, Ant. All right, hold on.
Fall somewhere else.
Hold on, Ant. So now this is where it gets really interesting because New England doesn't necessarily need Abdul Carter. But do they pick Abdul Carter if he's there?
So
because I think that they need a tackle as much as they need Abdul Carter, but I think Abdul Carter can be a generational talent.
I think so too, but it's also, I don't know. Mike Vrabel does love his offensive tackles. That's for damn sure.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And it's like,
and guess who's on the clock for that one? Will Campbell.
And Abdul Carter.
Think it's between those two.
The thing is about
there's
Will
no
Campbell,
way
dude, he
Abdul
versatile.
Carter falls though.
I don't think he falls that far, boys. I think he's either going to the Giants or the Patriots. But like, also, you guys need an offense tackle, and Will Campbell has been outstanding. Guy is an absolute beast out of LSU. The only downside that people are saying is he has smaller hands. He's a little bit smaller stature, even though he's like 6'6".
Yeah, he has short arms as well.
You know, his short arms, which is always kind of an issue if you're playing, you know,
such a dumb
offense
thing,
tackle. It is because there's been guys that have short arms that can still play offensive line or offensive tackle. It's just you need that length.
And the thing with Will Campbell,
guys,
he could play guard too. That boy's athletic.
I think they might shift him. That's why I think it's a good pick for New England too, because it's like, dude, if you need a guy to fill in, it's like, you know.
I honestly think that the Patriots are going to take. I think they're going to take Abdul Carter for the generational talent.
Dude, he's
Cody. What do you think?
That's what I think. I think they're going to go for the long.
I think if Abdul Carter falls to the Patriots, I think they would be stupid not to take him. Because it's like that's generational. Like I said, like the Giants have some guys up front.
No, I agree.
You know, they have Kayvon Thibodeau, but like if you have another dude, like if the Giants did, I mean, you're talking about two edge rushers that like could just feed off both of each other. And I feel like that's what you kind of need when you're playing across the side from each other. You need another guy that you know you can trust, and Abdul Carter's that guy. So
and
if he falls that low, you know, I feel like the Patriots would be kind of stupid not to take him because they also need an edge rusher. You know, a guy that's just going to disrupt havoc because that defense, you know, they need a little bit of work. You know, the team does, but every team does. So, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things where it's, you know, he falls that low. Abdul Carter's going to get snatched up by the Pats,
yeah,
I think.
I think so as well. If he falls that deep into the draft, I think the Patriots have to. The Pats have to pick him. But I will say, if the Giants do pick Travis Hunter and he does play cornerback, that team on defense low-key looks scary.
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence, you have
Ryan Burns,
Kayvon Thibodeau. You also have Javon
Thibodeau
playing secondary, you know, playing safety, dude. Like they could, I think the Giants need one of those pieces. They either draft Abdul Carter or they draft
Phillips.
They either get Abdul Carter or, you know, they go elsewhere. So
Micah McFadden, dude, that team is good.
Yeah, I mean,
that defense is pretty fucking good. With Travis Hunter as a cornerback, that defense would be legit. But I will say, if you guys get Abdul Carter, I would throw my nachos at the ball game, Anthony, because I'd be ecstatic. I think he's the best prospect in the draft. That would be awesome. But let's move on.
That's honestly
we got the Jaguars next. And the Jaguars need a wide receiver, a tight end, a defensive lineman, a safety, and pretty much everyone because that team is ass. So at this point, if this is how it's going to be, I think it's between two players potentially. Well, actually, no, I don't. I think it's going to be Mason Graham. I mean, they don't necessarily need Will Campbell. I was going to say Will Campbell at this point, but I don't think I think they have a defense or a decent offensive lineman. I think they have a decent. They have a decent offensive line group, and I think Mason Graham at that point, if they need a defensive lineman, he's easily the best defensive lineman in this draft. Like I think they would be stupid not to pick him.
He was so good, dude, at Michigan.
I agree with that.
It was just
he reminds me. Sorry, go for it.
What were you gonna say?
No, go for it. I interrupted you.
I was gonna say he reminds me of Justin Smith from the old Niners defense tackle.
I can see that.
A motor, dude, an absolute motor, and just so disruptive, dude. He just wants to get after the football and just tough as nails. So I think that would be good. I mean, Jacksonville needs everything, dude. They could go with that kid from Missouri, Armand Membo.
I know, and I'm hoping that he fucking
that offensive tackle is good too. He's fucking good.
Golly,
he's really phenomenal. Good.
But he's phenomenal, and he would fit the Niners system so well. But
yeah, I think he would.
I think this is like besides the Titans, like the number 2 stamped draft. That like this is the player that the Jags are going with. Like I don't think out of this top 11 there is another more solidified player with Mason Graham going to the Jaguars than the Titans picking Cam Ward. The rest, I think, is pretty much, up in the air because all these teams need a lot. But Mason Graham going to the Jaguars just seems like it's the right fit. It seems like all the mock drafts have him there. He's also just a fucking beast, like you were saying, Cody. He reminds me of a mixture of Justin Smith and Aaron Donald. He has the hand placement and hand movements of Aaron Donald, but the size and motor, Aaron Donald did have a motor too, but the size and motor of Justin Smith. And Justin Smith, when he played, he had a motor. So that's why I'm saying it's like a cross of both of them. He's a hell of a prospect. I'd be happy with that one as well.
I think so.
Moving on,
Jacksonville needs a lot. So, you got to start somewhere. So I think solidifying a great defensive tackle is always –
it's needed.
It's always a win in my book, dude. You need it. Some guys are like, oh, you could shift around the 3 and 4s and you can just sign a bunch of guys. I was like, yeah, but you have guys that are just fucking just wasting away. When you have a dude that can actually get anywhere on the field,
look at Dexter Lawrence.
Backfield, sideline to sideline as a fucking, a defensive tackle, an inside guy. You're talking, a crazy thing that any team would be happy for.
I don't know. I hate the argument that some positions are not as valuable as others, like defensive line or running back, because you can get so many guys and just plug and play. Yeah. Look at what Dexter Lawrence does. Look at what Saquon does. Those guys at the top of their fucking levels are not fucking plug and play. Those guys affect games. Yeah. So I think Mason Graham is just that. He can affect a game, and I think we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to a team that needs a lot of players to affect their game. The Raiders, they need a running back, a wide receiver, a defense lineman, and a cornerback.
Ashton Jeanty.
I'm assuming there's probably more there, but there's one guy in this draft that said to pick me, I will impact your team like Saquon did, and that is Ashton Jeanty. Do they do it? Do they pick Ashton Jeanty?
He's got to.
Dude, I'm so hyped for that.
Because I'm not going to lie. There or fucking also on some mock drafts, Jacksonville. But these teams that are freaking –
have ETN.
Top 6, top 7. Tank Bisbee?
I'm going to use the rest. No. ETN and Bisbee.
Yeah, but he's okay.
What? ETN, when he's healthy, he's a...
No, not him. Tank Bigsby.
But I will say... Okay. Oh, Bigsby is decent. He's a backup, realistically, but...
But, yeah, I feel like all these teams, they need so much. They need so much. All these teams that are picked top 10, they always need so many positions. So, in all honesty, I think the Raiders are going to go with Ashton Jeanty. I think that would be a solid move for them. I know their offensive line is not bad. They're actually pretty decent. You get some impactful player. I watched him live. You watched him live. We saw what he can do. You get him a good offensive line. You got Brock Bowers catching the football at tight end. He's a fantastic playmaker. Then you had a running back like Ashton Jeanty. You got something going there for, and the wide receivers, they're not horrible. They're not fantastic, but they're not bad. You can start really mustering up that playbook and kind of doing some different things that you're not used to. And you just have, you play off of Brock Bowers and you play off of Ashton Jeanty. And, I think that's the smartest move for the Raiders is to go with Ashton Jeanty, just with kind of what they got. Sorry, Zach, you missed it, but I was just saying.
No, I was listening.
Oh, yeah, I think he fits well with the Raiders. Like I said, just Brock Bowers, they could play off each other. He's a playmaker. Ashton Jeanty's a playmaker. The wide receivers aren't horrible. They're not like any guys that really stand out, but some of them can, they make plays. So I feel like you can really – they might be able to get a wide receiver late in the draft or muster something up, but I feel like they're going to go with Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah, I will say this. I think this draft, generational talent speaking, is probably the worst we've seen in a while. There's not a lot of guys that are solidified going to be all-pro type of players in this draft, which we've seen a lot in the last couple of drafts. But I will say this draft is fucking deep. There are a lot of good players at a lot of good positions. So like you said, Cody, all these teams need a lot of players, but it's are they going to hit? And Ashton Jeanty has proven he is going to be a hit.
I think you just give him a good offensive line, dude, and some other guys that can make some plays. Like, dude, the opportunities are endless, and I think the Raiders could actually do something here in the next few years. So,
their offensive young pieces is going to be fucking crazy, and he's going to be like
their offensive line is not bad.
A mini Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Their offensive line's not bad. It's a decent, pretty good offensive line. And I feel like there's a lot worse offensive line cores in the NFL than the Raiders. So I think
the Raiders honestly have probably like a top 15. They're above average.
Yeah.
The top 15 offensive line group.
Yeah.
Like, for damn sure.
So it's just kind of like,
average, but a team that does not have a top 15 offensive line group is the Jets. And they're up next. Their needs are a quarterback, a wide receiver, a tackle, and a defensive line. I think if Mason Graham fell to them, they would pick Mason Graham. I don't think a wide receiver is worth being picked at this point, and I don't think the Jets are going to pick a quarterback like Jackson Dart. So I think we're kind of whittled down to a tackle. Who do we think is the best tackle available? Is it going to be Will Campbell, or is it going to be Armand Membu?
So personally,
I think at this point,
I think it's Will Campbell still, but I'm going to be very frank with this, though, straight up. Realistically, there really isn't much of a difference between the two. There really isn't. There's really not.
The only thing, the Armand guy, he's just longer. He's just longer. He's longer,
exactly.
He's just longer. He's got. But I mean, if Will Camp, like, dude, if like we said before, if Abdul Carter's gone, and New England's up, they're taking Will Campbell.
Agreed.
They're taking Will Campbell. Because I feel like Will Campbell,
which means Armand Membu would be next.
And but I think that's exactly
we're at the point right now where both are available.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going to say this. I think Will Campbell's a better prospect. However, I could see Armand Membu being better in the future because he is a fucking downhill run blocker in the zone, and he has some work to do in the pass. But he's huge, like you're saying, Cody. Will Campbell in the past is solid. He is a great non-zone run blocker. He's getting downhill immediately. Yeah, so I think with the Jets team, where they run a little bit more zone, I'm like, do they go Armand?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, like Will is he's a shorter body. He's getting after it right after snap. He's going downhill. He's getting a second level. He's moving his feet. He's picking up a blitz. He's picking up a twist here where he's solid as they come on the pass block, and he's so good at repositioning as well when those blitz pick up. That's what you want. You want guys to go find work.
Dude, he's solid,
and he is solid as they come. And I saw it.
His base times. Is solid as fuck.
His base, it's just like one guy disappears. He knows another guy's coming. He plants. Boom, he's right there. Yep. And that's where you don't necessarily need the long arms because once you redirect and you're coming here and you see a blitzing linebacker, you're making contact almost immediately, and it's really just about holding him or fucking just flat back at him. And I think Will Campbell,
which he does, he plays with some fucking power.
He plays with
Will Campbell is the most powerful dude in this draft. That fool is fucking strong, and he's athletic. He ran a 4.9.
Yeah, I think Will Campbell goes to a team that is looking for more versatility in an offensive lineman.
So do we go Armand?
I think Armand's going to the Jets, man. I think he fits a little bit better with their scheme.
Please God.
Not so much that it's like I feel like it's more of a up-tempo scheme because they have who at quarterback? Oops. God, why am I blanking on his fucking name? The Jets. Who's their fucking quarterback?
They have Zach Wilson.
Don't they have two?
Not Aaron Donald anymore. I mean, I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers anymore.
No, it's
Justin Wilson Fields. That's what they say.
Justin Fields. There it is. That's where it's like you have two guys that I feel like are
now I think that would make sense then.
Yeah, it would because you have a guy that like you're gonna need a guy that's so long. I think you're gonna need a little bit more of that length, that
zone blocking,
like stiffer, not stiffer blocking, but
Justin
like he's
Fields,
long.
He runs a lot. Yeah,
they run a lot, so you need a guy to be able to kind of get out there, use his length, push guys back inside, use his size because some guys won't come to like you have a guy that's scrambling and you have a tackle that's taken off. A guy that's a little bit longer, these guys are going to run right into him, and it's just not really going to do anything. I think Will Campbell just works a lot better inside and downhill and fast within the first 10 yards. He's coming after you. This Armand guy, he can spread things out a little bit more in longer plays with Zach Wilson and or Justin Fields, who likes to take off. Guys that can run. You need a guy to be able to give him that time, but also be able to follow these guys. If they decided to go, he knows like, okay, if I get on these guys, like I can use my leverage and my length So I think realistically, it works better for the Jets to draft the dude from Missouri.
Okay. Well, this is where things get real hairy because we have the Panthers. The Panthers need a wide receiver, an edge, and a defensive back. At this point in the draft, I don't fucking know. Like, this is where things get really weird. Do they go Jalen Walker, the outside linebacker from Georgia? Do they go Mike Green, the edge from Marshall? Do they go McMillan?
Mike Green guy is fucking a beast, dude. He wrecked Ohio State's offensive line to shreds, but I think they're going to go with that. I don't think they're going to go with him. It's no disrespect at all, and this is not a shot. But these smaller guys, you have to be careful with drafting because it's like you're taking a big risk. And yes, he had a fantastic season, but he was also at Marshall. It's just kind of like it's like a good amount of steps below the Ashton Genty. Everybody knows what they're getting. Like they know, like this kid is generational. Like they get a good game. But this guy, it's like he kind of came out of the woodworks. I'd say mid-season. I saw his tape against Ohio State at the Reese's Bowl where he flat-backed that dude from Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
He is an absolute underdog.
He really isn't that small.
And
he's 6'3", 250.
Yeah, like he can. I feel like you can play him anywhere. Throw him back, drop him back in coverage, but you're sending him off the edge. But I feel like they might go with the dude from freaking Georgia, Jalen Walker.
Yeah, I was literally about to say. I think Jalen Walker is probably the best.
I feel like that's not as much of a
in
risk
this draft. I think that's what
they're
going to do. I think that's what they're going to do as well. And
not much of a risk.
You think so?
I don't know if that's what you guys think, but
no, I agree as well.
I
think Mike Green is a tough prospect, man. He played for Marshall. He's a little undersized. He's explosive, but is he that explosive? He's not like Von Miller, so it's like,
dude, he kind of. I feel like he's going to be good for any team that he goes to, but it's always a risk when you draft a smaller player. I mean, he did wreak havoc on Ohio State. I mean, he made those tackles look silly, dude. And you're talking about a level of talent,
and that's when Josh Simmons was playing too.
But at the same time, like this is a business. As much people as want to have a heartfelt story and like, okay, we got to go with this guy from Marshall. Like, you got to make a business decision. Who's going to be more of an impact right off the bat? The dude that played, Marshall, who played freaking Southern Mississippi week 3, and Virginia Tech, who hasn't won more than 8 games in like 10 seasons? Or are you going to go with the dude that plays in the SEC and is playing against the best competition week in, week out? So I think they're going to go with Jalen Walker on that one. But I don't know, dude. I'm seeing also wide receivers, the kid from Arizona.
I think that's going to be next. Our next team
I can never pronounce his name right.
Yeah. The next team is the Saints, and they need a running back, a wide receiver, and a defensive lineman. And at this point, maybe Walter Nolan will go there. I don't think he will. I think they're going to take the chance on a wide receiver. And
I think they're going to go McMillan. I think pairing up McMillan with Chris Olave, Stewie's lover boy.
As long as they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
McMillan kid.
He's a beast, dude.
My goodness.
Fucking beast.
I don't know if you got to watch him.
McMillan's so good.
During the season, it was unbelievable. That guy was like, throw it anywhere and I'm catching it type of guy. And that's exactly what you fucking want.
Although I will say he doesn't use his body as much as he should.
Yeah, but like the offense
that fool should be like Megatron, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I will say you are right with that. Their offense doesn't really give that opportunity.
They had him outside, down the number,
his
down the seam.
Is ridiculous.
Here, I'm going to toss up a freaking fade to you, or I'm going to toss a post to you, or I'm going to toss something open, like big routes. Like that guy was a big route runner. He wasn't the guy kind of going inside because he doesn't have like the Megatron body build or like really the Julio Jones body build where you're going to throw him inside and it's going to be a lot of contact. I think they're going to keep him outside, but
yeah, he kind of reminds me of like a Drake London.
Not small by any means. But he's not like huge. He's not like, I feel like he's not as built as some of those guys that you're going to throw inside.
Oh no,
even though you can play him outside. You had Megatron playing outside. You had Julio Jones playing outside, but
15.
So it's like Julio's probably like what, 220, 225.
Yeah, he was 6'4", like probably 230,
240.
Yeah,
Megatron's got to be. You got those guys. So I think that he's going to work well.
Well, fellas,
in that system.
I mean, Cody, we might get what we want.
I don't think you guys are.
Is the Bears.
So.
What are the Bears going to do? Because
I think they're going to take Will Campbell, and then I think never mind. I'll just wait.
Hold on.
I think they're going with.
Hold on. The Bears need a running back, a defensive lineman, and a tight end. They go Tyler Warren there, and that leaves us with our draft fucking crush of Will Campbell.
Dude, I'm seeing every mock draft that I'm looking at is Tyler Warren's going to.
I know. I see that too.
Tyler Warren's going to Chicago.
Do it?
I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you boys. He's one of the. I mean, other than Brock Bowers getting drafted a few years back, he's one of the best tight end prospects I've ever seen live. I mean, that guy is literally everything you fucking want.
All right, well, fuck
downhill blocker.
So
anywhere on the field, he's coming down with the fucking football. I don't know, like if you guys, I loved watching that dude play, and he was just an ass kicker, bro. So I think that's going to leave the Niners with exactly what we want. But Tyler Warren,
Campbell,
watch out for that dude. Will Campbell. I think you're a Niner.
I don't think you guys are getting Will Campbell.
Hey man, be quiet. You smoked heroin before the fucking draft.
I don't think you guys are getting Will Campbell at all.
Dude, I will jizz myself at the fucking baseball stadium if that happens. I'll literally take my fucking helmet nachos and jizz my cock into that shit if we get Will Campbell. I am
50-50 on thinking that Will Campbell is going to fall to the Niners, but I feel like it's a huge possibility for us. So, but it really depends on what happens. It really depends on what happens with the Abdul Carter situation.
Yep.
At 3, and Will is Abdul going to New England? Is Will Campbell going to, but I don't know, dude. I think it very well could happen. This draft is freaking fantastic. I'm loving everything about it. I really like every position. And I know we're not professionals here, and people know that, and we'll still ream on us. But I think we have a pretty damn good list here.
Yeah,
I don't really think I would change much. I mean, there's definitely a few things that we can switch around here. Mm-hmm. But I mean, those guys, I really don't really see it going any. I mean, I could see a few teams flipping around, but I don't think it's going to be much different than what we got here.
So for the people that are not watching, we have the Titans at number 1 picking Cam Ward. We have the Browns at number 2 picking Shedeur Sanders. The Giants picking Travis Hunter at 3. The Patriots at 4 picking Abdul Carter. The Jaguars at 5 picking Mason Graham. The Raiders at 6 picking Ashton Genty. The Jets at 7 picking Armand Membu. The Panthers at 8 picking Jalen Walker. The Saints at 9 picking McMillan. The Bears at 10 picking Tyler Warren. And the 49ers getting the draft crush of the year for me, Will Campbell.
Rigged. You guys just want Will Campbell, so you guys had him there. Rigged.
Dude,
why are you so upset about the Will Campbell thing? You think he's going to
want Will Campbell? He wants Will Campbell. That's why.
I don't think he's going to land at 11. I don't think he's going to land at 11.
You think he's going?
I really don't think so.
In the back of your mind, you want that fucking guy in New England.
If that's the case, he has to be at number 11.
I think that the Jets would take him. I think the Jets, honestly.
Okay, then we get Armand.
Take him.
So then we get Armand.
Well, I'll take.
We can flip it. If we get either one of them, again, I'm jizzing my nachos. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I think both of them can work well in our system. I would be ecstatic for either, because you know how the Niners play offensive linemen. We got speed everywhere, and it hasn't been great in the last few seasons. We have definitely have some drop offs, but I will take either. But I do like the Will Campbell pick more because I think he's a little bit more versatile.
He's just
that's where I think
I just want him on the fucking 49ers just because he fucking kicks ass. Armand is fucking good.
Like to run the
Will
football.
Campbell kicks ass. He kicks ass.
Yeah, he does.
Please, God. I'm hoping that we're foreshadowing for Thursday. This episode will be out Friday, so there will be a video reaction of me and Anthony at a baseball game, because we will be at the baseball game live reacting to our picks. So please, God, give us who we want. That was fun, fellas. That was a lot of fun. There's going to be some crazy shit. But we are going to keep the theme of drafts and do a blind ranking of the biggest busts in NFL history. Cody and Anthony team to do so. I have a list of 5 guys. Like I said before, I wanted to make this interesting, so this is not just a list of the fucking top 5 biggest busts ever, because that would be all quarterbacks and that wouldn't be fun. So I've picked some guys that hit a little close to home. and that we've definitely seen through college. So I'll say the person, their draft pick, the year, and then their college. So, fellas, are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Line ranking the biggest busts in NFL history. Your first player, Sam Bradford. And Cody, I told you this one would hit home. First overall pick in 2010 from OU, baby. And if you guys don't know, Cody and I are Oklahoma fans. So Cody's head is going to be down because this one hit home.
That one fucking sucks, dude. Oh, biggest draft. Top 5.
5, fellas. This is going to be like a
Anthony,
crazy
I know
list,
you don't know much about Sam Bradford.
I know a little bit, but
absolute Oklahoma Sooner
He was
legend.
a beast at Oklahoma.
God, I thought that guy was honestly going to be a Hall of Famer. When I was a little kid watching him, college football, Sooner, I legit thought that guy was going to be the next cream of the crop. And he went to Indianapolis.
No, he went to
the Rams
first, right?
He went to the Rams in 2010.
And drafted by the Rams.
And then he went to the Eagles.
And that was a bust.
And then he went to the Vikings, and then he went to the Cardinals.
Yep.
God, I thought he played for the fucking Colts.
No.
What team?
He was with the Rams from 2010 to 20.
I knew he played for the Rams, but I thought
that makes sense.
To the Colts.
That makes sense. No, he did not.
What guy?
2010 to 2014. He played with the Rams.
What do you guys think, fellas? 1 through 5. What do you think?
I'll put him at. I like the 4 spot because I think there's some worse guys on here.
Ant, you're cool with that?
The 4. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Who am I thinking of? Dude, this is gonna bother me. I'm thinking about some other fucking bust that played for Indianapolis. I could have sworn I knew he played for the fucking Rams because I watched him in the NFL.
I don't know who you're thinking of, but I do know your second player. Your second player is Trent Richardson, running back from Alabama. He was the 3rd overall pick in 2012.
I knew one of those Alabama running backs were going to come up.
Oh, yeah.
Trent Richardson. That guy was
also, worst is number 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trent Richardson, man. Dude, another just – there's so many Alabama running backs, dude, and he was just an absolute bulldozer. I mean, that guy was just like everything you wanted in a running back. Just could not hack in the NFL. I would probably put him at. I'm gonna put him at 5.
You're gonna put him at 5?
Yeah, because I feel like there's got to be.
I was gonna put him at
3. You guys can discuss this. Sorry,
3 or 5, but like I don't know who else is on this list.
Because I mean,
if he says
something, right? I'm looking at his history too, right? Cleveland Browns, the Colts, the Raiders, the Ravens, then the Rough Riders, and then the Iron, and then the Chihuahua.
Yeah, he played everywhere, Ant.
Like
that guy played for freaking other leagues.
This guy's the definition of bust. This guy is one of the definitions of bust. If not,
yeah, but there's bigger names. I feel like there's bigger names. I feel like that came out of college that could be on this fucking list. Like I feel like, but you know what? I'll put him at 3 because I'll put him at 3 because that one's really bad. Even though there's been plenty of fucking, I feel like really hyped up running back busts, but Trent Richardson is one that definitely like sticks to you a little bit.
Yeah. All right. So we have him at 3 and Sam Bradford at 4, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. Your third player is Trey Lance, the 3rd overall pick in 2021 by the 49ers. He was from NDSU, North Dakota State University.
The Bisons. I loved
this one's hitting a little home in a couple of spots. So
I loved when they picked him, dude. I was just like, North Dakota State. They get a lot of NFL guys in the NFL.
Didn't you guys trade up hella just to actually get draft Trey Lance? And he ended up being biggest bust?
We did.
You guys screwed up big time on that.
We gave up a fuck ton for Trey Lance.
That might have been one of the worst.
Barely got signed in this offseason. And now he's the fucking backup of the backup for the Chargers.
I mean, dude.
You got 1, 2, and 5 open, fellas. What are we thinking?
Trey Lance, like, dude, I love that. When he was at NDSU, I was like, this guy's fucking crazy. I thought the Niners were insane for what they did just to be able to pick him. I thought that was one of the worst choices we ever had, no matter if he was a bust or not. I mean, that was just wild. But, yeah that's like a number 2 for me.
This is a 2.
Because, I mean, we have, like, how many other names, you know?
Okay.
Like I don't.
This
This could
that's
easily be a 1. That's the thing. This could easily be a 1.
Like he got hyped up. Like everybody was talking about Trey Lance.
Okay. So we have 2 players left. We have 1 and 5 left. We just put Trey Lance at number 2. Your 4th player, Jeff Okudah, the 3rd overall pick in the 2020 draft. He is the highest picked corner ever. And when he got drafted in 2020, that was by the Lions. Now he has played for 4 teams out of Ohio State.
Jeff Okudah. That name, honestly, I'm going to be completely honest, does not ring a bell.
That's crazy. He was a crazy prospect. All you have to know is he is the highest picked cornerback of all time, and he is on his 4th team.
This guy.
He is 26 years old, and he's currently a quarterback for the Vikings.
Oh, dude, I know exactly who this is. I thought
he is the 3rd stringer for the Vikings. He's the 3rd stringer for the Vikings.
He's the one who did that TikTok on the Detroit. Yep. It went like viral. Yeah. I forgot what he was doing. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh
yes.
God.
The TikTok that he did, like, yes. Okay. I thought his name was. I thought this was like a completely different player. I thought his last name was spelled completely different. Okay, I know exactly who this is. Yeah, that's bad. I would put him. I feel like I'm gonna save the number 1. I want to put him at 5, man.
I want to put him at 5 too.
I want to put him at 5 because
I think there's gonna be a pretty bad one at the last one.
All right, Zach.
Sorry, I'm writing it in. We have left the number 1 spot open. And guys, do you guys think you did well? There's only 1 guy remaining. Is he the biggest bust on this list?
Dude, I don't even know.
I think our list is not bad, dude. I think
it's not terrible, but
I mean, what we were given. I mean, like, where else were you gonna put some of these?
Join me, fellas. Your number 1 spot belongs to Jamarcus Russell.
Oh, I love that.
First overall pick in the 2007 draft.
I think that's epic.
Yes, awesome. I'm not going to lie. You guys fucking killed this.
Yeah, I think that was a good list, dude.
So, dude, I'll read this through, and then we can actually react to it.
God.
So there was 5 players, and I gave it to you guys in this order. Sam Bradford, Trent Richardson, Trey Lance, Jeff Okudah, and Jamarcus Russell. Your guys' list was this. Number 1, you had Jamarcus Russell. Number 2, you had Trey Lance. Number 3, you had Trent Richardson. Number 4, you had Sam Bradford. And number 5, you had Jeff Okudah. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think you might have aced that. That is
I think so too.
Exactly the way that I would put it as well.
Put Trent in
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes. I was worried about that one. I was like, ooh, shit.
The Jeff Okudah guy, he's fairly new on this list compared to some of the other players. So I was just like, I'm not going to put him anything other than 5.
That was really solid, fellas. That was really
Jamarcus
solid.
Russell, the king of not studying his playbook, because when he played for the Raiders, they're like, they gave him a blank playbook.
Mm-hmm.
A blank playbook, and asked him the next day, did you study the playbook?
No,
his answer was, yep, I studied everything. The Raiders' response was, we gave you a blank playbook because we knew you weren't doing anything. And got rid of his ass. Jamarcus Russell, yes, dude.
Biggest bust ever, fellas. Yes. That was fucking phenomenal. Cody, are you ready to have some more fun?
Yes, I am.
And it is time for you to get shafted. We are going to take you to Paris. Boom, baby. Because we are getting into
this makes me so fucking happy.
The worst Patriots losses in NFL
2 weeks from now, Cody.
And I will say this, Anthony. I have included all of the dates in here from when you were born. So this is from 1999 to current. Okay? Blind ranking the worst. Actually, I don't even want to say it like that because I might fucking screw it up. We'll get into it once I actually read this over. 1 is going to be the worst. 5 is going to be the least worst. Cody, you have the list, correct?
Yes, I do.
I want to make sure that this is set before I do anything. Mm-hmm. I will be reading out 1, 3, and 5. Cody will be reading out 2 and 5. There's 5 teams, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best.
2 and 4.
And we're going to have some fun because we were here for it. 2 and 4. I'm sorry. Yes. 2 and 4.
All right.
Ant, are you ready?
Dude, there's so many bad ones, and I know there are.
Ant, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Ant, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. No, I need some more enthusiasm. Ant, are you ready?
Take another sip of Coke or something. Let's
Yes.
get this.
Throw another in. Take another fucking. Yep. Take another sip. All right.
Energy.
Here we go, Ant. Here we go. Blind ranking the worst Patriots losses in NFL history. Anthony, your first game. Peyton's Revenge. Patriots lose to the Colts in the 2006 AFC Championship game. They lost 38-34. It was the Manny versus Brady AFC Championship in which the Patriots had a 21-3 lead. The Colts then went on to beat the Bears in the Super Bowl that year. Anthony, 1 through 5, where are we starting?
Pretty bad, considering that lead. But it's not the worst. It's really
there's a lot of bad losses on this list.
It's really realistically, at least ones that I'm thinking in my mind, and I'm thinking of at least 5 right now that are, I think personally, that are much worse than that. So in that case, I'm honestly going to put that in the 5 spot.
Peyton's Revenge at 5? No, you said it. You said
yeah.
It. Okay.
5 or 4.
I feel like that's a pretty.
I mean, that's fair. Cody, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in the 5. I will put it.
That's fair.
But do I be safe though? That's my other thing. Because I don't know
what
you guys basically have on here.
Anthony, thinks
like Revenge is terrible.
We're blind ranking the worst NFL Patriots losses since 1999. I almost said 1919. 1999. You have watched all of these. If you think that is 5, you know what's probably coming. That's all I'm going to say. You know a lot of these games. You know all of these games. Now, you were fucking 7 at that point, so you didn't get to watch it like some of these other ones. And again, this is your list. So if you put it at 5, keep it at 5, and that's all the hints we're giving you. That's it. Are you solidified at 5?
I'm solidifying at 5, yeah.
Okay. Cody.
All right, Anthony. The next one is the undefeated season. Super Bowl loss against the Giants in 2008. They lost 17-14. This was not only the whole demise and just the rug being swept out under Brady's feet. Not once by this dude. Not once, but twice, Anthony. But this is the first one. So
this is the undefeated.
Where do you rank it? Because that's a tough one. I mean, for all the accolades,
you got 1 through 4. You got 1 through 4.
Just couldn't get past that string bean little big forehead man. Just couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. You say I have 1 through 4, but realistically, thinking about this game right now, I actually have 1 through 2 right now.
Oh shit!
Because this one's pretty bad. This one's pretty bad.
Do it, bitch. 5.
Oh man.
4, 3, 2.
Okay. Hang on.
Spit it out. Come on.
This one's so tough. This one's so tough, guys. This was
this is a bad loss.
This is a really tough one.
You got to do it, Ed.
I mean, if it's not in your,
you're there.
If it's not the number that I'm thinking of or in the range, I'm gonna be like, I don't know.
I'm gonna put this in the 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's fair.
I'm gonna put this in the 2.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think.
And this is where we're gonna have a lot of fun at, because this is the only one that you mentioned to me to include in. So at number, actually, I don't want to say that because it gets confusing with editing. Your third game is the end of Tom Brady's career as a Patriot. The wild card loss to the Titans in the wild card round of the 2019-2020 season. They lost 20-13, and he went on to become a Buck and solidify himself as the GOAT. And you have 1, 3, and 4. Where does this go?
This is between 1 and 3. 100%. There's so many reasons why too, because he played like shit that game. He didn't do jack shit. He was
Anthony, the guy was low-key 40 years old and your team was falling apart.
Yeah,
so.
and then he went to the Bucks. He won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but like that's with a completely
different. Possibly had his best fucking season ever.
The Pats were. I mean, they lost to the wild card against the Titans. That means your team was
in the Titans. Oh, it was terrible.
That means your team's bad if they're losing the wild card.
I need some fucking water out of this, and I can't.
I mean, the Titans did have Derek,
and after that game, that's when the dynasty was over. Right there, everything was done. Right there.
Yep,
that is a terrible loss.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of solidifies. Bad loss, Ant. But does it go at 1, 3, or 4?
I really want to put it at 1. I really, really do, but I don't know if I should. But I really want to, because that was bad.
Up to you, man.
Like that was the end of a dynasty. That was the end of the GOAT being with the Patriots. That was the end of a lot for the Patriots right there. One.
Fuck!
Holy shit! God, no!
Oh my god!
No
okay.
way you put that
up. Okay,
one.
Cody, his 4th game. Please give it to him.
My favorite loss. Big Dick Nick. Eagles versus Patriots.
No, wait, this is. Oh my god! Wait, no, this is the one. No.
I told you, you screwed up, dude.
Slipped my mind. This one.
That's the one where we. That's where we literally witnessed Anthony crashing the fuck out in front of 10 of his best friends that were enjoying every minute.
Super Bowl. 2018 Super Bowl. The Patriots lose 41-33, and Ant had to hear it from 11 of his best buds in his house.
What quarterback again?
House. Big Dick Nick.
The guy that wasn't even supposed to be there freaking took Tom Brady down in the fucking Patriots.
So I'm assuming this will go at 3.
I want to switch. I forgot about this one. How did I forget this? 3. I guess it's going in the 3.
You can't.
It's going in the 3.
Well, Ed, you fucked up, bud.
I fucked up.
You done fucked up. And Ant, this was a hard list. But if I was to read this, I think going into it, the odds of the end of Tom Brady's career being number 1 were probably at plus 10,000. That would have been in my 4 or 5. But you have left the number 4 spot open. Do you want to take a guess as to what game that will be?
Was this the second loss to Eli?
The Super Bowl loss versus the Giants, part 2. The Giants defeated the Patriots in 2012, yet again making him Tom Brady's daddy with the score of 21-17.
Anthony, before you say anything, I will say I remember where I was at during that Super Bowl, and I was the only person in the house rooting for the Patriots. So
which one?
There's that. The second loss, 2012, against the.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
The Giants.
Typically I would say that you do good in these. This one, it's a little iffy. You get a grade of a C. Line ranking the worst Patriots losses since 1999. Anthony, we gave you a plethora of games. This is how we did it. At number 1, we had Peyton's revenge game in the AFC Championship in 2006. The second game was the undefeated season in 2008. Number 3 was the end of Tom Brady's career. Number 4 was the loss to Big Dick Nick. And number 5
I love that loss so much.
Was part 2 of the Giants. Anthony, at number 1, you had the game against the Titans, the end of Tom Brady's career. At number 2, you had the loss for the undefeated season. At number 3, you had the loss against Big Dick Nick and the Eagles. At number 4, you had the loss to the Giants, part 2. Part 1 was obviously number 2 with the undefeated season. And then number 5, you had Peyton's revenge in the AFC Championship game. And before we close this out, Anthony, speak for yourself, brother.
Yeah, let me
defend yourself. Defend yourself. Explain yourself.
Realistically,
how are you feeling?
There's not a whole lot of defending for myself, but I at least want to put like where my mind was at with this, right?
Yes.
So first off, right, honestly, when I completely forgot about the fucking Nick Foles Super Bowl. I try my best to fucking forget that game.
That one was the most fucking important one. I'm like, okay, he's definitely saving that one. Like, that was the one where I was like, oh, he's for sure putting that at 1.
I was thinking that you were going to.
I absolutely. So I forgot about it, right? And That sucks because honestly, for the viewers, if you're watching this, listening to this, I would put that at 1. I completely forgot about it. Because on top of that too, it wasn't just 11. There was more than 11 of my best friends at my house watching this Super Bowl.
Let me see if I can find a video.
There's a photo
of
me.
The hat.
Yes, there's a photo of me with my hat. With my hat backwards, and they captioned it saying "a defeated man." Everyone is booing me. Everyone's flipping me off. Everyone's saying "fuck you, Ant." Go Eagles. Everyone became an Eagles fan. No one else was rooting for the Patriots, obviously, except for my mom and my dad. No one else.
Yeah.
And it was
honestly
just,
that hat picture is probably where it's the one where you're holding the hat against your chest and your hair is just a mess and you're just looking at the TV in disgust as the green and gray sparklers come down.
So that's what happened with that Super Bowl. I really try hard to forget that one. Clearly, I did a pretty good job at forgetting it. The reason why, too, where my mind was at, too, with the Brady, his season ending, right? Like I said, that game, honestly, that's a very underrated loss for the Patriots, in my opinion. It's incredibly underrated, I think. I think it's overlooked in some sense. I don't think a lot of people remember it because, it was a wild card game. It was against the Titans. Obviously, it wasn't an AFC championship. It wasn't a Super Bowl. But that was a huge impact. That was a huge impact of a loss right there for the Patriots
on your
and
franchise.
Everything. And the franchise itself. The dynasty truly came to an end right there. I think it's true. I think it's an underrated loss. And honestly, really looking back on it, like I said, yes, I'd put the fucking. Oh no, he found it. Well, we can't see it that well. Yep, there it is. There it is. That's
a defeated man. Dude, there's a video, and I know that Anthony has it. I don't have it saved, but dude, it is so funny. We are shitting on Anthony, just screaming at him, "You bitch, you pussy!" Every single word we could have used, we used it.
Yeah, it was.
I miss those times.
It was pretty bad. Maybe I could send to you and you could put it in this video.
That would have been number 1 for. I mean, I know you forgot.
Honestly, that's the greatest loss of all time for me personally. That was the most fun I've ever had hating on someone.
We all
that is the most fun I've ever had hating on someone.
Yeah, because it's me. I'm sorry, Ant. Love you.
It was awesome.
But it's also the Patriots. Nobody likes them except for you. Yeah. But
during that dynasty, they were like the Chiefs.
But I mean, that was my reasoning though, right? I totally forgot about that game, and it was in the Titans and Patriots game. It's an underrated loss. It's overlooked.
That's also fair, dude. I mean, it is.
Forget shit.
And that's why I included it because I remember you actually mentioned.
Don't remember everything.
Brought this up, but that's brutal.
No big deal.
That's fucking brutal.
No matter what, boys.
1 through 3. No matter 1 or 3 with that loss, I was like, "Ooh, fuck!" He's not thinking about the 1. He's not thinking.
I wasn't thinking about it. But no matter what, boys, all 5 of those losses, horrific.
Brutal.
All of them. They're all horrific.
And honestly, we're laughing now, but next week or 2 weeks from now, next episode is going to be fucked for Cody and I because those games that you mentioned, I've cried over a couple of them.
I know.
So it's gonna be fucking brutal. Anyways, I think that kind of wraps it up.
2 weeks, fuck,
Cody, and we're gonna have to blind rank that together. And I just know there's some that I
already know
you guys are gonna
really trouble getting over. Yes,
you guys are gonna be honest crash out on these games.
Yes,
I think I have my
for sure.
I think I have my number 1 already in my head.
Yeah, same. I'm not gonna say anything because I want to be on the same page, but I think we have that.
I think I know. I'm just reliving a scene in my head that I can't get out of. Well, it's just hilarious.
My one request for you.
There was one that
next week. Do not text about it. Don't talk about it until we're actually on the podcast.
That's fine. Yeah. I just am reliving a moment in my head that just made me laugh so hard.
Yeah. No, I froze. I don't know what happened, but twin telepathy. I think we know exactly the Super Bowl that we're thinking. But we'll see. That's what I was trying to say.
I was gonna say, don't text each other. Don't talk about it.
No.
We're actually on it. All right.
We won't. But anyways, fellas, do you have anything? I mean, we've gone over the mark a little bit. That was a really fun episode, honestly. Really fun ending. Anthony, I'm sorry it didn't go as well as you thought it would. But again, Cody and I like to hate. And it just brings back some hating memories, and we just got to hate a little bit. So you'll get it in 2 weeks in the next episode. Fellas, I think that ends it unless you guys have anything. Go for it now.
Go Patriots.
Otherwise, I am moving on, and we are going to
go Patriots.
Be on the lookout for a video of our reactions at an MLB game, like I had said. the draft is this Thursday. Enjoy it. Hopefully your team gets the player you want. And please like, subscribe, comment. And we'll see you guys for the next episode. Peace.
Peace.
Hey.